These are just so you guys can reference them when you get home and you don't have to try to remember everything.
Yeah, if you want to do any of this stuff. So I'm going to take some of the themes that I've heard that you and Roy were dealing with, which is a little bit of neck stuff, which we actually haven't really done here. So it's going to be new for everybody, which is good. We've kind of talked about this in a variety of settings, which is the sort of two overlapping fields of mobility that we use: FRC, functional range conditioning, and then LDOA. And they overlap, they cover things that the other doesn't, and the important thing about this stuff today is that with the neck stuff that we're going to do is, if it is too much, meaning like you get weird head stuff, nausea, which can happen, it's just like way too intense, like there's a lot of stuff in here. So if that happens, just pull off. Just don't go too hard. And you can all obviously like build into the intensity of whatever it is that you want to do. Welcome back, sir. So that's sort of first and foremost. We're gonna start with neck cars, which I think we've maybe done once, but very likely probably not. So to get started with that, we're just gonna get a normal stance. Again, if you've ever done a spine car with us, our neck is part of our spine, so it's actually the same thing, but just watch me first. So my head and my neck can do, again, 6 things like my spine can, which is it can flex, it can extend, those two are related, it can side bend left, side bend right, those two are related, and then it can rotate left and rotate right, those two are related, and obviously they're all connected. So with that in mind, a neck car is all about moving through all 6 of those ranges of motion. Additionally, a piece I like to add is just keep those arms reaching down, because it's pretty easy to start doing stuff like this where we get other stuff involved, which just kind of takes it out of the neck. So we start reaching down. The neck car is chin to chest. We're gonna go, let's say we're gonna go to the left, or you guys can go to the right, I'll go to the left. So you're gonna scrape your chin across your collarbone to that side. Then once you're at the sort of as far as you can go with your chin, trying to get that chin up, then it's like you're trying to pour water out of y'all's right ear, my left ear, whatever ear you're, which way you're going. Trying to pour water out of that ear over the shoulder. Then, so that's 1, 2, 3, so that's flexion, rotation, side bend, and then open up, eyes to the sky, pause for a second there, that's extension, and then we kind of complete to the other side. We pour water out of the other ear over that other shoulder. Then we come forward, try to get the chin to touch the collarbone, and then slide along the collarbone right to the center of the chest, and then finish. Okay? Now, first couple of these, maybe all of these you do today, you may feel a couple different sensations. One, if you're feeling like pinching, impingement type of pain, don't go into that. Or dance around it. So if I go here and I'm like, that feels really yucky, I'll just dance around it. And that's totally acceptable. Maybe after you do a few reps, that won't be there anymore. If you're feeling a really intense stretch somewhere in the muscle, and it's really intense, but it's a stretch, it feels kind of good, live in it. Those are the two sort of different things that are okay. Make sense? So now we'll go the other way. So chin to chest, scrape across the collarbone, pour water out of the ear, eyes to the sky, water out of the other ear, chin finds the collarbone, scrape to center. Okay? Fairly simple. And the biggest thing I'm going to offer up, now that you are you're gonna do both sides 4 more times each way, is make sure that there's no excess movement. Okay, so at your own pace, 4 each side, so we'll get to 5 total, so 4 per side. Alternate each way you go, and it'll come around and give notes as we see. So again, chin to chest, scrape the collarbone, water out of the ear, eyes to sky, water out of the other ear, chin to chest, scrape across. Okay, and as you go through this, try to just smooth it out. You can certainly start with it being very sort of robotic, hit each position, kind of staccato-like, but see if you can get a little bit more legato as you go.
This way
And obviously pay attention to like, hey, do I have some serious blockage or restrictions on one side or the other? What? That's why I couldn't understand what you're saying. Is this smoothing out as you're going along, getting a little bit better, or everyone's so focused and dialed in right now?
You're getting a lot of crack in the neck.
And if you're, pay attention if you're clenching your teeth, unclench them. Doesn't mean necessarily open your mouth, you can. I like to, when I'm doing cars in general, whether my mouth is closed or open, just put my tongue between my teeth. And then that means I'm not gonna clench my jaw, I'll bend my tongue off.
This one's always giving me the most
Feel okay?
Sleep on here.
Anyone get dizzy from doing any of that?
Definitely felt it.
Felt some, were you feeling pinching right there or
Just
stretching?
like getting a stretch.
Getting a stretch, great, fantastic. How about, what's the report from
I
there?
have bubble wrap feeling in my neck.
Okay,
You know where you're
crunchy,
crunch,
yeah.
crunch, crunch, and bubble wrap.
Yep.
But it didn't hurt.
Great.
Yeah, it just felt really good. Like
Okay.
really cracking a lot of adjustments.
Great.
Just gonna introduce myself, Steven.
Hi, Stephen, I'm Ann.
And
Now, next step that we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of load to this, not into the neck and the head, but to really pin the shoulders down, which should hopefully really emphasize the stretch portion. So you're just gonna grab a pair of kettlebells or dumbbells, it doesn't really matter. Grab something like, I don't know, medium-ish, maybe the orange ones, and 16s for you two. Just something that's gonna be kind of like locking those shoulders down. And so what we're about to do here is the same exact exercise, but now the external load is going to do the job for you. In that whole reaching down thing that I said to maybe do, we often forget to do. And additionally, just putting tension everywhere, or just a little bit, so that everything from here down is locked, so that this is what does the movement. That's what we want. So, pure and simple, holding the kettlebells right here. You're gonna give me another set of 4 and 4. Take your time, go a little bit slower, because you might find that you hit some stretching points. And for this next pass through, pay attention where you're like, ooh, that's a like 9 out of 10 stretch. I really feel that there. Pay attention to that, because that's gonna be what we get into next. So, and everyone's probably gonna be a little different. So find your like right side stretch and then left side stretch, wherever it may be, okay? And then work your way through it all. 4 reps this time per set.
Yes, that's a nice thing to put in this place.
pay attention to how when you go maybe to the right side, you maybe don't find as much of a stretch, but you go to the left and you find more of a stretch in the same spot. It's kind of funny how that works. And when you're done, put the bells down safely so I know you're done.
Lot crunchy.
Okay. Everything's popping. Did anyone notice that this got harder by holding the weights when doing this?
Actually, it anchored me.
It anchored
You
you.
know, I have balance issues.
That helped. That was better.
I feel the same way. That actually helped me.
I did. I felt it was a little harder for me for some reason.
And can you identify what you felt was harder?
Yeah, I felt some a little bit of strain up here maybe in my back this last week. But it also forced me to kind of keep those shoulders back and lengthen. But when I lengthened, I felt it more with the weights. A little bit of strain.
The problem I would identify for you, which I noticed, which is something that happens with you when you grab weight, is your whole body gets tense everywhere.
Yeah.
And I just need to from here down. Like we're working on the neck, so this needs to move. So your range of motion, which maybe it was too heavy, your range of motion, which I don't think it is though, your range of motion and your form got cut pretty hard because so tense you couldn't quite move through the same flow. So pay attention to that as we go through the next sequence of stuff, okay? That's usually what happens, is that we grab weight and then everything gets tense rather than being specific about where we want our tension to be. In this case, it's collarbones down so that this is all that moves. Does that make sense? Okay? So, did everybody find one spot on the right and the left side that, like, when you work through your neck car, you get a pretty serious stretch? Yes? 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 Okay, beautiful. So, now we're going to get a little bit deeper into this world of FRC, and that we're going to live in that passive stretch. And then we might start to play around with some tails and rails-ish, more like contractions and relaxations in that position. So for me, when I do neck cars, especially I think when I go to the left, when I get to about here, the stretch from here to here, which you can probably see on my neck, is super intense. And then when I go this way, I have a pretty big like pinch right up here. So I kind of have to dance around that, which is just something worth flagging. And then as I roll through, I get kind of a similar stretch on this side, but it's a little bit farther back. So the reason why I'm identifying that on myself is I need y'all to have that same level of specificity for this next piece, okay? As we get, my sort of intention with this today is, as we get farther along, y'all get more specific. Y'all get more detail, more granular with it. So, what I'm gonna ask you to do, same setup, all the things. Go through your neck car, you're gonna do one going to the left and find wherever along that pathway you find that intense stretch. And then stay there, okay? Once you're there, I'll cue you accordingly. But find that stretch, get into that position, and just live there for a little bit, okay? So, let's go ahead and pick up the weights, and I'll cue you through this for the next little sequence here, okay? All right, so go ahead and go to whatever direction, go find whatever direction you're gonna start with until you find that stretch, start that car, and then you're like, boom, there it is. Already better, Stephen McDonald, that's better. Good, so once you find that stretch, just breathe and live there. Okay? Now, that should already be kind of fun, kind of gnarly, I would imagine. So, from here, whatever direction you're leaning, so, and you're leaning to your left, Stevens, you're leaning to your right. Perfect, great, easy. So, what I need you to do here is, Stevens, with your head, reach your head like an Eldoa. It's not necessarily changing any angles. I just want you to add that decoaptation concept. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain it. Stay in the position, don't worry. So, stay in your stretch. So what I just want you to think, Ann, is that at the angle that your head is angled at, there is a balloon or a string pulling your head up in that direction. Doesn't mean change the angle, it's just like a millimeter of space that's created. That should increase the stretch a little bit, yes? When you did that? Good. Now, the opposite arm of the side of the stretch that's holding the kettlebell. So, Stevens, in your case, it's gonna be your left kettlebell. Don't move anything yet. And it's gonna be your right on this face. All of a sudden, that kettlebell is 3 times heavier. Let it pull that shoulder down and away. That should already like spike that up a little bit more, yes? Good. So now from here, think those 2 directions. You're reaching that kettlebell down towards the floor, you're reaching your head up and away, okay? Now, here comes a little bit of a weird ask. What I'm about to ask you to do may not make sense, and if it kind of ruins what you've created, give it an attempt. If it ruins it, just pull off and just keep doing what you're doing now. This is the next step up. If it doesn't make sense, don't do it. Which is that muscle tissue that is stretching without much actual movement. Can you try to contract that muscle and then relax it and go deeper into that space? Can you contract that muscle a little bit, which might mean your shoulder and your ears get closer together, and then you relax it and try to drop them farther away from each other? You'll do that 5 times. Take your time with it. But whatever that muscle that you feel is stretching, can you activate it? Which might, again, like if you're thinking ear to shoulder connection, those might pull a little bit closer, and then it relaxes and goes farther. Pulls a little closer, relaxes and goes farther. Again, if that doesn't make sense, just go to where we got to with the reaching of the head and reaching down of the arm. That's a perfectly acceptable place to be. And once you have done your 5, very slowly, very carefully, come out of this. Put the bells down, and then we'll do the other side here in a moment, but I just want to give you all a moment to relax. Intense? So, while y'all are resting, just as a slight demo, like if I had the kettlebell, right, so I found my stretch, you can probably see how tight this is here. So I'm thinking reach up and away, pretty subtle movement, reaching down and away, fairly subtle, and then contracting. I'm trying to just contract this, nothing else. And then that relaxes. Now our arm can go a little bit lower. Now, that contraction stuff is very weird that I'm asking you to do. This is like, makes sense to do, but like do bicep curl, that makes sense. Do like scaling activation is not so clear, and that's okay. You don't need to 100% get it. Just the sort of general effort and attempt at it is enough.
Aren't you essentially creating an angle when I do that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm concentrating on the kettlebell on the right, and it's the left. I'm creating an angle, and that angle, in terms of physics, will kind of intensify then relax.
That you're right on the money. What I would say is we're creating. It should basically all to like really dumb down what I'm asking you to do is do stuff that makes stretch more. And if you feel stretch more, good. Like then you're doing it generally in the right
Well,
direction.
it's like when you have our legs against that, you tell me to get longer.
Precisely.
Okay.
So we're combining. That's the decoaptation thing. That's the getting longer thing. Does everybody feel like one shoulder is a little bit lower, or like their head feels a little funny on their head right now? any analysis of doing that on y'all's end? What was that like for you guys?
I mean, I felt it was really
Serious.
stretch. But I really felt exactly where it's supposed to.
Good.
Doing the
Contraction, relaxation.
Well, I feel good because this is where I did.
Great, fantastic. So we're gonna do the same thing on whatever you found on the other side. It may be the same muscle, maybe something slightly different. Again, there's a ton of shit in the neck that we have to deal with. There's front side stuff, back side stuff, all of that. But now I'll cue you into where we're going today, which is hopefully all of this more than anything is giving you a ton of awareness of what's going on in your neck. That's what we need to try to build. I want you to try to understand the neck, where it is, feeling the bones, feeling the muscles, feeling the tendons, feeling how to move it the different ways, because we're soon going to be dropping into Eldoa world and doing a bunch of Eldoas with the neck, which you got to experience late last week, Friday. It's Friday. And if you can, Thursday, Friday? Thursday. With the Eldoas that I'm asking you to do, this is all going to be a bunch of neck Eldoas that they are more intense but more subtle in some respects. But because it's so weird, you need to really kind of like teach yourself how to feel your neck, basically. So let's do the same thing we just did. Hopefully this will be a little bit more clear now that it's the second rep, if you will. So kettlebells up. You guys were going that way, so now you're coming this way, and you went that way, so you're coming this way. So whatever you need to find something on the other side of the neck. Can be front side, could be back side, wherever it may be. You can scan around a little. Once you find it, enjoy, hang out there. I like to close my eyes often when doing this work because I can just get more in touch with my body. So, again, scanning around if you haven't found where your stretch is. Once you have found it, hang out there, okay? Now, again, just to kind of go a little bit deeper to the same stuff we've just been learning is, again, you have your connection point of your ear kind of to your shoulder. That's where we're creating or closing the space between those two. And then we're using sort of length or longer levers, meaning from our hand with the kettlebell and the top of our head to create extra pull. So from here, with that in mind, whether that made sense to you or not, that's okay. With that in mind, start with like that balloon feeling on the head, pulling your head up and away, decoaptation if you know our Eldoa words. So just start reaching that head up and away. Again, imagine someone grabbing you by the hair and pulling you at the angle that you're already going. And then that side that is stretching that kettlebell, all of a sudden, it gets 3 times heavier and it starts to pull the shoulder down and away at the same time. This is really the power of imagery with this stuff, is again, if you can get a little bit creative with sort of what you're envisioning going on here, it can kind of help exemplify this. So now that you are reaching with the head up and away, reaching down and away with that arm, this should have hopefully increased the intensity of whatever you were feeling. Then, whatever you're feeling, hopefully you can feel it very clearly, you attempt to do a little activation with that muscle and then relaxation. And we'll do that 5 times. Take your time with this. Keep the reach with the head, reach with the heavy kettlebell on the arm, subtract it, relax. And then reach more, both ways, subtract it, relax. We'll do that for a total of 5. Okay, and then once you're done, again, so we know that you're done, let's put those kettlebells down. And then we're gonna move into kettlebells. Actually, we can put our kettlebells away once we're done. All right. So, what did we gain from that little experience there?
I'm an old woman.
What was that?
I'm an old woman.
What makes you say that?
Because, well, with a bad shoulder for 10 years now, I've compensated for it, and this really,
Notice that really prevailed.
Mine was really, really completely different from the other side. I felt it like more right here,
Interesting.
and here.
Your shoulder surgery's on the left, right? Yeah.
Well, felt it more here and here. And it was actually really difficult to get the stretch from the It's
Interesting.
really hard to find it and then pull
Get into it. Because you play a variety of instruments. When you play guitar, yes?
Yeah.
How do you play guitar? If you were to grab an imaginary guitar and show me what that would be like. So, all that to be said, the reason why I highlight that is that if you do one-sided things for many years potentially, that can, over time, just build up an imbalance. Again, that is to make you more efficient at the thing that you do, make you stronger at it. That's why it feels so weird to like throw a ball with your left hand if you're right-handed, is because you haven't done that pattern enough. Exactly. Like, hey, go play guitar with your left side hand. Like that would feel very, very awkward, right? And so that's very normal, and that makes sense that you might have a weird situation going on, but you can keep playing with this to find it. So you're gonna say something. Okay, go on. Just take a breath. Okay. How about you? What'd you discover with that experience?
Yeah, right, a little bit lower than the other side.
Okay. Okay. So, all that to be said, do we all feel very aware of our necks? Okay, fantastic. So, beautifully, for the next 30 minutes, we all get to be laying down, which is so nice, okay? For you two, I'm gonna challenge you both to not have a bench for your feet. I'm gonna have you do this in space, the way that we did that Aldoa the other day. I'm gonna have you do it in space. And I will let you start with the bench, but I may be mean and make you do it.
oh no, I know my fate.
So, again, while y'all are sort of just getting set up on your backs here, we did one thing so far today. We did a neck car, and then we went an inch wide, mile deep. So if you found something with this that unveiled something for you, like, wow, man, that side that was injured, really tight, and I can kind of start to really open that stuff up in a specific way, probably worth keeping. Bare minimum, you have a neck car, which again, like, good warm up, good stuff to do, no big deal. Okay, so but again, just another tool to add to the tool belt. Okay, and if anyone, sometimes I feel this after doing neck cars specifically, much more relaxed. I'm not really sure why it sort of like calms the nervous system, but for me it feels like it does. It's something to pay attention to. So, neck Aldoas. We're going to start with the one, Stephen, would you kindly, I won't put you on camera, but would you kindly demo what I'm going to have you do so that my really sore quads, I don't have to get up and down from the ground here. So, what you guys are going to do, and we can just start right there, so you don't move farther beyond this, is you're all going to end up on your backs. Imagine I'm on my back, which is, if I'm on my back on the floor, your knees are both going to be exactly like Stephen's are, knees pulled towards your face, toes pulled back, shins parallel to the floor of the ceiling, okay? That is going to be all the same, no matter what we do. We're going to be on your back. You're going to be on your back for this. Arms are going to be what change. And we're going to try to do all of them, except for C2, C3, because that one maybe we don't have access to yet. So, you can go ahead and relax, Steve. So, with that in mind, in your case, you'll just have your feet on the bench and be kind of get as close to the bench as possible so you have room to pull. So, let's go ahead and start on your backs. Okay. Oh God, my legs. Okay, so from here, you go ahead and listen to the sound of my voice. This should be fairly clear. So, before we get the legs involved, it's very important that we start to feel what our head is supposed to do. So, with y'all's feet on the floor, with Ann's feet on the bench, right now, what I just want you to do laying flat is tuck that chin. You can even help yourself with your hands, but your head stays on the ground for now. And then that same feeling I asked you to feel, that decoaptation, that balloon pulling your head up and off your spine, is just start reaching your spine, your head, away from your shoulders. Just trying to get long that way. Arms aren't involved, legs aren't involved. You're just trying to feel the effort of what we're supposed to do with our heads. And if you've kind of captured it, go ahead and relax. Okay?
So, does that make sense vaguely of what I'm asking you to do? Yeah? A thumbs up is an acceptable answer. Okay, great. So, now, from here, legs come up. We start with knees at about 90 degrees. Again, shins should be parallel to the ceiling and the floor. Then from here, pull the toes towards your face. If you want to be really specific, pull your pinky toes more towards your face than your big toes, but pull all your toes back towards your face. And then from here, without it being super crazy, actively pull your knees towards your face. You should just feel tension kick into your hips and your sort of lower body as you do this. As you keep your shins in parallel, toes pulling back, knees towards the face. Now while you're doing that with the legs, do that same drill we just started with the head. Can you keep the legs involved while keeping the head involved? And so from here, these are 2 cues. This is legs and head. Those are your 2 cues. So can you cycle through those cues? Head, legs, head, legs. And keep winding up that tension. And go ahead and relax that for a second. Okay? Now again, the thumbs up is a perfectly acceptable answer. Does that make sense, what I'm asking you to do? Okay? So again, I'm trying to build out your cue system that you can run through with yourself in your head, which is legs, it's going to be legs and head, which you just learned, arms being a big one, and then breathe. All right? 4 words, that's all you gotta remember. It's, heads, toes, knees, shoulders, whatever that's on. Okay? So legs, head, arms, breath. All right? So what you've done so far, this is going to be the same for everything else that we do today. Your arms are going to be what changes. So let's go ahead and get the legs set up the way we just did. Let's get the head set up the way we just did. Get very active. Now, you're going to take your arms, put your palms towards the sky, like you're a beetle that's been flipped over on its back. And now, twist those arms so that the fingers should be facing away from your face. And if you're not doing it right, Sean will come around. Now, bring your thumbs to the floor and your arms at a Y. Arms are at a Y. So, thumbs to the floor, it should be a Y. The pits of your elbows should be about in line with your ears. Now, check in with your legs, with your head, with your breath. And now your arms are in the right angle. Now we reach with the arms. So at whatever angle of your Y you are at, you want to try and reach those arms far and away. Tuck that chin even harder, reaching that head nice and long and active with the legs. And then breathe. And just keep trying to wind those up more and more. And you keep going, all right? So as you go through your cues, active with the legs, active with the arms, active with the head, and breathe. Good. And once you find that about that position there, just keep your hands static, not moving them the whole time.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Can you keep your head down? Don't look at me.
That's it. There you go. Good. And then legs, head, all that.
Okay? So just breathe and work here. When I finish my countdown, you will slowly relax out of this. We will do this a second time. If we have made any adjustments to you, please lock those in so that you can hop right back to it. So you will be done with this first rep in 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax out of that. Okay? All right. So that should be a bit of an experience usually. Okay? Now, where we're targeting. Lowest level of our neck, basically like right where our neck kind of becomes our proper spine. That's where we're trying to target. If you do a lot of kettlebell work, you can often get it's a common thing that happens, which is you get this like tweak here at the C7 nerve, which either runs down and out the shoulder or down and behind the shoulder blade. If you've ever gotten that, then in kettlebells snatching a ton, often
I've had that happen to me a million times, but hell, working on a computer a whole bunch, driving weird, bunch of things can cause that. This one for me, this particular one is like the magic exercise. Do me a favor, Stephen, just let your head rest on the ground. Okay? Don't want you to. We're creating a lot of space in your neck, and I don't want you pulling it into aggressive flexion and potentially hurting yourself. So, if you can, on this second rep that we're about to do, really try to feel the space being created at that level of the spine. That is my preference. Yes, question?
It's the highest point in the neck, we want here.
No, where your neck and your spine meet at the sort of top of your shoulders, base of your neck. So we're at the lowest level of the neck. C7T1 technically. So with that in mind, we'll wind ourselves up again. Get your legs involved. Okay, get those active. Chin on. Don't worry, we're not taking photos of you. However you want to get your arms into the Y, I've given you one option, but if you know where to go straight away, hop to it. Good. Now, from here, check in with the legs, check in with the head, check in with the arms, and then breathe and reach. Reach, 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 reach. It's like your shoulder blades should be reaching out and away from each other, so they should be creating space. And as those shoulder blades sort of reach out and away, that kind of pulls on that lower level of the neck. And then as you reach that head up and away, that pulls on the above level of the neck that we're working, so that you can create a lot of space. Again, using the legs to create more tension. Now, this is the second pass here, so hopefully you're a little bit more experienced with this. The intensity of all of these cues can be increased, okay? Steven Sanchez, if you want to lift your head a credit card off the ground, you are welcome to. And if you lift it off the ground, it's lower than you think, okay? Chin in, reach that head long, reach those arms, pull those knees, try to feel the base of the neck. That's what you want to feel. Breathe and work here, breathe and work, okay? Just keep winding it up, building it up. Stephen McDonald, let's go a little bit wider with those arms. Right about, keep going, there's good, that'll do. Great.
There. For you two, they just don't have much on that. Breathe. Exhale, get longer. Try to keep things relaxed. Notice when you get tense.
Active with the legs. Active with the arms. Breathe. Got another 15 seconds. Ten. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly come out of this.
And again, to Matt's point, try not to look right or left. Exactly.
Yeah, just
Find
move
a
slow.
neutral, chill place.
Just move slow and careful. All right, did that feel any different from the first round?
Yes.
More specific? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So, as you get more skilled with this, you heard me tell Steven Sanchez that he could lift his head off the ground. As you get more skilled and you get stronger with this and get better at holding position, you can begin to play around with lifting the head off the ground. Now, with that in mind, that is like advanced level type of cue to add in. The value of what that does is it can potentially give you more space to create more of the correct position with the head, to give you more pull with the head. But often it becomes so hard and so uncomfortable on the front of the neck to do that, that you then lose everything else and then it's not helpful to you. So you have to kind of earn the right to do that. You're welcome to play around with that. You're welcome to play around with it today, but if we see that that is kind of destroying what you're doing very well without doing that, we'll just say put the head down and don't worry, it's not personal.
Well, when you raise the head, how much do you recommend?
It is like the littlest amount, like it's less than you think. It is, you should still feel your hair follicles touching the ground. Like the base of your hair, I mean it is the base of, like a needle. I would say you can slide a credit card through it, that's it.
Okay.
That's
I would
it.
just say for all you can remember, like tension is the enemy of length here. So if you're lifting the head and you're not strong enough, it's just really tense, just let it go. Just leave the head on the floor.
more out of that at this moment in time than powerlifting.
All right, so now we go to the next one. So this next one, arms are going to be down at the sides. With this one, I find it is very important that you really work on rotating as aggressively into external rotation as you can when you're down here. Because this, when you do that, you should feel how it winds up tension through the arm so that you can really reach down and away. Okay? So, with that in mind, let's get the legs involved. Let's get the head involved, okay? So let's get the legs up. Legs up. Before the arms, don't worry about the arms yet. I'll cue you for the arms. I was just showing what I want you to do. Okay? I'll cue you. It'll make sense. Good. Legs involved. Get your head involved. Good. Now again, arms up to the sky. Good. Peel the fingers back. Twist all the way down. And now from here, just drop these straight down to your pockets. See that makes sense? I got you. Now, from here, go ahead and get a little bit more active with the legs, a little bit more active with the head, a little bit more active with the arms. But with that, and when I say active with the arms, I just mean the twist. Then from here, reach down and away hard with the arms. Again, kind of like the cue we did with the kettlebell earlier with the neck car. Reach those down and away. Good. Just like I'm being very granular. Okay? Now, again, if you're feeling this, you can reach that head really far, reach it high and up and away. Try to get long through the neck. Do you feel one side of your neck is more tight than the other? Just embrace it. Don't try to stretch it out one way or the other. Just keep lifting evenly up and away. Twist those hands more. Reach out. Pull those knees towards the face. Breathe. Hold for another 15. 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Was that harder or easier than the first one?
It was pretty tough.
Pretty tough? Yeah, pretty tough. So maybe a little bit harder. Unclear. Everyone's starting to get loopy.
It's harder.
It's harder. All right,
I
well,
think it's because it's easier when isolated.
you can get into it a little bit more clearly.
Mhm.
Okay. This one I think is actually the one that most illustrates what I'm kind of asking of you to do, because the arms and the head are truly going in opposite directions. As obviously, like, the Y is a weird angle to work at, so that's one you have to like build the skill and the feeling of. The next one we're gonna do after, we're gonna do this one more time, but the one we do after this one is even more weird because of the angle. But the best way I've come up with articulating it for myself is whatever angle my arms are at in a neck elbow. All I'm trying to do is reach really hard with those arms and in effect pull the shoulder blades away from my head and neck at that angle. So it might be out away from the neck and out that way on the Y. It might be away from the neck and down that way with the one we just did. The one we're gonna do after this, which is arms towards the sky. It might be away from the neck and up towards the sky. Whatever angle your arms are at is how it's like you are trying to pull your shoulder blades away from your ears and then in that angle. Away from your ears first and then in that angle, whatever it may be. I don't know if that is a helpful explanation. That is just like a thing I have come up with for me to help rationalize what is going on. It was useful for me. If it doesn't help you, forget what I just said. Okay? Again, just trying to feel it more and more. So, let's go again. Legs up, head get into position. Again, we'll have those arms down by your side. In this case, I'm gonna ask that everyone, once your arms get down by your side, go a touch away from the hips. That's actually more accurate, but we'll have to start something. So from here, get really active, and I want to see you pull those fingers back and get way more of a twist through those shoulders. So like this. There you go. Good. Now, from here, twist more and more and more as you can. Get that head touching, tucked, head nice and long, reaching up and away. Pull those knees back hard. Now, from here, with this new concept, as you reach those arms away from your ears, feel those shoulder blades scoop away from your ears and then even farther because your arms are pulling up. Okay? I promise you, if you just keep practicing these and you hear somebody repeat the cues, it will start to make sense internally. Just keep it going. More active. Reach, more intensity. It is not about creating tension in your abs like you were preparing for a deadlift. That should be fairly relaxed. It is about tucking that chin hard, and then again, rubber band tension. As you reach your head really long, and you reach your arms really long, it should start to be like you're getting a rubber band fully taut. Just breathe and work here.
It's not like a traction, it's like,
Breathe and work. At this point, this should not be too abnormal or unclear. Hopefully this all just makes a lot of sense. Your head is off the ground. Keep it off the ground, but but get it closer to the ground. We'll hold for another 15. Can you get your head to pull away from your shoulders? Can you get your shoulders to pull away from your head? 10. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax that down. All right. Give me the report on that as you get a little bit of rest before our third and final.
That was easier than the first time.
Easier than the first time? Good. Doesn't seem like it was so easy in general, but I'm glad it was easier the first time.
Easier to digest.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you should hopefully feel as you do this more, it just gets more clarity around what I'm asking
There
you
we
to
go.
do.
That's a good term.
Yeah, I get better neck stretch in this position than that position.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah.
what?
Reasonable response.
Yeah.
All right, so last one we're going to do. So, and the thing I've been asking you to do to set up your arms, where I say arms point towards the sky and then twist down, that's the aim. So the arms will be pointed towards the sky with that twist. Now, with that in mind, okay, if you can carefully turn your eyes to me so you can see what I'm asking of you. Once I'm in this position with my arms, it is really important that I don't do the following. That's pretty common. Shoulders got to get out of the ears and then scooping up and forward. It's literally like I'm attempting to do this. It's like the L, C kind of. That's the idea. Okay, so just keep awareness of, are you starting to do this to get it to happen? Or are you being good about the shoulder blades going down? If you've done scap bars with us, it's shoulder blades back and down. And then kind of a little bit forward. But it's the down part particularly, okay? So, let's get the legs involved, let's get the head involved. Okay, our usual setup sequence here, we should know this, okay? Now, from here, arms to the sky. Once you've done that, arms towards the sky, peel the fingers back towards your face so you should be able to see your fingernails. Then, twist them down. So you can't see your fingernails, but you know they should be pointed towards your knees. Now, from here, shoulders out of the ears, and then try to get your palms to touch the ceiling. Beautiful. From here, this is how we work. Again, the usual routine with the head for all of you, are trying to touch the blue wall. Knees are pulling to try to touch the chin. That remains all the same. And then again, the only thing that is different is the arms. So you keep trying to create more of that twist out of the ears, scooping up and forward. Okay? I even sometimes feel like I get a little bit of a lat stretch when I do this, and so I kind of know I'm really projecting those arms forward. And breathe and work here. We have slowly worked our way up the neck, so if you are getting specific with what you're feeling here, you may be feeling this a little bit higher up than what we started with. Keep working from here, keep the legs active, keep the head active. Twist those hands a bit more, make sure that those fingers are pointing towards the deep, beautiful shoulders out of the ears. Hold for another 15, and then we'll get a rest and we'll do this one more time. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Slowly relax. Slowly relax. What was the report for that? The L-double loopiness is kicking in more and more.
Is
Sorry
it
to
usually
get
light sensitivity?
more and more in.
Fluorescence? That's what, yeah. No, yeah.
I did feel it in lat and in upper. Yeah. That was tough. That was easy.
Everyone's losing IQ points every time. It's great.
That is
Great.
what it feels
I
like.
can't afford that.
Don't worry, they come back later. You get more once you. It's like an investment. You lose it now, but you get more later.
I like that.
So, with that in mind, hopefully, even though this is maybe getting harder in some respects, it's making more sense, right? Again, the nice thing about the neck elbows is the legs and the head are doing the exact same thing. The arms are just what's different. So, this one's a fun one because this is one of our big 3-ish eldoas of the whole spine, which is we have legs up the wall. We have the one that some of you have done where you're seated, arms straight up. That one's very hard. And then this one that we're doing. These are sort of the 3 of like each main area of your spine that we want to hit. So, with that in mind, we get to go for a longer hold to finish today. We'll see how long we can go. Now, I'm going to keep you all in this for a while. If you have to come out of it, you're done, and that's fine, just be done, and come out of it very slowly. If I see you fall out of it, I will snap it, because then you can hurt yourself, and I don't want you to get hurt. And if I have to instill fear in you so you don't hurt yourself, then I will do it. You understand? So if you just come out of it slowly, that's all I need. That's all I need. So, legs involved, head involved. Let's get started. It's the last thing for the day. Okay, so this is not too bad. Good. If you are going to engage with lifting the head, you are welcome to oscillate between head lift and head down because that can get very exhausting for how long we're going to hold. All right, arms to the sky. Peel the fingers back. Twist. Just to teach ourselves something, before we drop the shoulders, pull the shoulders up into the ears. Now get them the hell out of there. Get them away. There you go. That's what you're doing. Now, from here, with that angle, with those shoulders out of the ears, reach. Active with the legs. Get the legs at good. Pulling those knees back. Beautiful. And we breathe and we work. Good. And pull those fingers. Good. Beautiful. So, very nice and simple here. You just breathe and work. You have your cues. Legs, head, arms, breath. That is all you should really be thinking. And then that's all you should be thinking. And then there is what you are feeling. And whatever you can do once you're feeling something in the neck, creating space, you are just doing whatever you can to try to increase that. And we're trying to pull 2 vertebrae apart so we can create space for our disc, which will result in releasing any pressure on any nerves, making things move better, feel better, all of those things. Good. Just breathe and work. Try to increase what all 3 of you have been doing so well today. Increase it with the legs, increase it with the head, increase it especially with this one with the reach of the arms and the shoulder blades. Those are kind of connected in that regard. Breathe and work. A fun little thing to play around with is relax your bellies. If you're finding any tension in your bellies, relax that and then fire the legs and fire the head harder and see what that does for you. That usually increases it. You're going to keep going for up to another minute. If you fall out of it, that's totally fine. You're done. Thirty more seconds. 15. 10. 5. 4. 3. 2. And slowly come out of it.